Hey everyone, I'm Alex, and I thought I'd make a video comparing the best and worst places in Canada to cash out your crypto. So hopefully you can find the highest prices if you're deciding to sell your crypto. So I made this spreadsheet comparing 11 popular exchanges, and we're going to go over it in this video. So first I'll explain this chart quickly. The top row is the main number we're looking at. That's the total price you can sell your Bitcoin for after fees. So obviously the higher the number, the better. As you see, Binance was first place to sell your Bitcoin when you add up all the fees. That's where you would get the highest price. I opened every exchange at the same time and recorded the prices that you could sell your Bitcoin for. And then I just subtracted the fees from each exchange, and that's how we got this final number at the top. So if we look at NDAX as an example, you could sell your Bitcoin for exactly $62,000 when I tested this. So NDAX had a 0.2 trading fee and a fixed $25 fee to withdraw to your bank. So we subtract those fees, and that's how we get a total number of 61,851 to sell your Bitcoin on NDAX. And this is the process I use for every exchange, and these are the rankings from best to last. So now let's look at the results and the main things I found interesting. So Binance was first place. If you wanted to sell one Bitcoin, you'd get 62,093 after all fees. If you compare that to Wealthsimple Crypto, which was last place, it's almost a $2,000 difference from first to last place, which is roughly 3%. After calculating all this, I found there's not a crazy difference between all of the exchanges. It's roughly a 3% difference between first and last. So in general, any of the top 5 or 6 options are pretty good, but if you're using some of the bottom 5 or 6 platforms, you should maybe consider switching exchanges if you want to save money. So it might not seem like a huge difference, but you're paying extra money for doing the exact same thing. If you're cashing out a small amount, it might not matter, but even then, you might as well use whatever will give you the most money because he wants to pay fees in the first place. Now I'll just quickly go over a couple of these platforms. So Binance is the best place to sell your Bitcoin for the highest prices. It was first place out of 11. That's not very surprising because Binance is one of the largest exchanges in the world and has very high volume and low fees overall. Now there is an asterisk on Binance. You'll get the most money here. However, it's not based in Canada. Its headquarters are in the Cayman Islands, so it doesn't let you cash out directly to a Canadian bank account. What you'll have to do is essentially sell your Bitcoin for a stablecoin and then transfer it to a Canadian exchange such as NDAX, and then you can transfer it to your bank account. It's an extra step involved and there will be a bit more fees for transferring it over, but overall that's your best option if you want to sell Bitcoin for the highest possible prices. So in second place came NDAX, and this was the top Canadian exchange on this list. NDAX is pretty good overall. It was also the best exchange for purchasing Bitcoin in Canada. So overall for fees, this is a really good option for just buying crypto or selling crypto. Now keep in mind there's a fixed $25 fee to withdraw to your bank account. That's the only downside. Kraken was third place. This is also one of the biggest exchanges in the world and has a great reputation. It's not based in Canada, but you can withdraw directly to your bank account via wire transfer. That could include some bank fees to receive the wire, so check with your bank, but that was third place, Kraken. Now fourth place surprised me a little. This was Coinberry. This was one of the most expensive platforms for buying Bitcoin, but for selling it, it did really well. It was fourth place. So hey, I wouldn't buy crypto on Coinberry because it's very expensive, but it might be a good option if you want to sell, and it is based in Canada as well. Fifth place is Newton, which is another Canadian exchange, and this is my favorite platform overall. For purchasing crypto, it was second place out of 11, so it's one of the best for buying crypto cheaply, but for selling, it's fifth place out of 11. So not quite as good for selling, but I mean, it's still fifth place, so not a bad option at the end of the day. Then you have all the others. I'm not going to go through them individually, but overall, for me personally, when it's time, I'm going to be cashing out on Binance or NDAX, so that's the platforms I like to use. All of these will be linked below with bonuses, so use my referral links if you like free money. Those will all be linked below. I also have videos reviewing all of these exchanges, so if you want more details, check it out on my channel. Now there's a couple other tips I want to go over. So you know where to cash out for the highest prices, but what if your exchange isn't working? It's not uncommon for these exchanges to stop working. Let's say it's like 2017 again, everyone is flooding these exchanges and yours goes down temporarily. Not a good situation you want to be in if you're trying to sell, especially when crypto can drop 10, 20, 30% just like that. So the first tip to prepare for that is to have a backup exchange. If you're new in crypto, you might only have one exchange to buy crypto. If you're planning to cash out at some point, I would definitely sign up for a second platform, maybe even a third. If you try doing it last second when things are crazy, it'll take days or weeks to open an account, and that is way too long in this market. The second tip is, let's say trading isn't working on your exchange and you can't sell your Bitcoin for dollars. So maybe you can't cash out for whatever reason. Instead, you can just sell your Bitcoin for a stable coin like USDC, which is pegged to the US dollar. And then you've still locked in your gains and there's nothing to worry about. Just wait for things to settle down and you're all good to go. You could trade it for Canadian dollars when it's all settled. There's tons of stable coins. Popular ones are Tether, USDC, and you can find them on various exchanges like Binance, NDAX, and Newton. The third tip kind of combines the last two, but it's to make sure you're signed up for one of the big exchanges like Binance or Kraken. These aren't based in Canada, but they're the biggest exchanges in the world. So when things are crazy, it's likely that these exchanges will work versus the small Canadian exchanges. So for example, when you want to cash out, you can send your crypto to Binance, trade it for a stablecoin, and wait for things to settle down. Then when you're ready, send it back to your Canadian exchange like Newton or whatever you're using and cash out to your bank. That could be a good workaround, and Binance was first place on the list as well, so that could be another good reason to use Binance. But that's the entire video. Those are just some general tips to help you if the market goes crazy and you're trying to sell at the peak and your exchange isn't letting you. Hopefully those tips help you cash out and not have issues. Hopefully this saves you some money with fees and when you're trying to sell your crypto. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.